There is a great beauty that can lie within a video game, and just like all art, it will be different for every person. Sometimes the graphics of a 16-bit world look great, sometimes it's the story of a modern game or the addictive gameplay loop found within it, and sometimes it is because the world that was created is just gorgeous, and I believe that Trüberbrook did just that. Truberbrook is a beautiful game. BTF, the creators of this, made each location by hand using real assets, which they then digitized, creating this amazing looking game. Each location is just incredible, with so much detail and personality. From the moment you boot up the game right until the end, you're inside a work of art. Trüberbrook started its life as a Kickstarter game in 2017, meeting and exceeding its funding. It looks like the budget was probably spent on those fantastic locations. Releasing in 2020, Trüberbrook is set in 1967 and tells the story of Hans Tennhauser, a quantum physicist who won a prize to visit Trüberbrook despite not remembering that he entered it. The first night he is there, a mysterious figure breaks into his room and steals his research papers. From here, Hans must talk to the locals, fix their problems of course, and learn about the mysteries plaguing the town. In order to do this, you must understand that this is a point-and-click adventure, just like Grim Fandango or The Secret of Monkey Island. That means you can move Hans around, but you need to move a cursor in order to interact with the world. The controls here are rather simple and easy to learn. When you highlight an object, a jog wheel comes up. The top is to look at the object and Hans will tell you what he thinks. The left is to talk to an object, which is mostly used for people. The right is a general use action. It could be picking something up or maybe turning something on. Last is the item button, which uses an item from your inventory on the object in question, and that's about everything you can do. While the controls in game is very simple, that might be a little bit to its detriment. Because there is a general use action and an item action, you can't really make mistakes. If you have two items in your inventory, like say coasters and a coat hanger, you can't use the coat hanger on anything that the game doesn't let you use it on. Because of this, the puzzles are not as obtuse as other point-and-click adventures. You can't use the wrong objects on things. Well, you can occasionally, but then nothing happens. So you know you either need more items or you need to find a different one. Which in my opinion is a great segue to talk about said puzzles. Many parts of the game will be restricted to 1 or 2 screens, and thus everything you need to solve these problems will be on those screens. By interacting with everything, you'll gather all the items and get all the information and hints that you will need to make your way through that puzzle. It's in the latter half of the game where you have multiple screens and multiple people to interact with that this becomes a little bit of a problem, because each puzzle has to be solved in a fairly linear way, which means you'll have to talk to everyone, then inspect everything, and find the right information or item before doing the same process again in order to get the next item or part of the puzzle. This becomes tiresome quickly, and it doesn't help because there are a lot of things that you could potentially interact with, and a lot of dialogue that you'll have to sit through when you're talking to everyone. This, to me, shows how new to this genre the game makers really are. For a first game, it has a lot of things that, with just some general feedback, would have easily been improved, and if they ever make a second game, I know they would implement these improvements. So the gameplay is a little shoddy, but the main reason people play a point-and-click adventure is for the story. And here, the entire thing is voice acted, which is really neat. The story itself is of a sci-fi mystery nature, where you're trying to figure out the secrets of the town and what's going on, which is great. However, the execution of it isn't. A lot of the main plot feels unfinished and disjointed, like you're climbing a mountain and Hans falls off and he ends up as a patient in a facility that wants to know if he is a robot or not. Then, once they figured that out, they just let him out. It's really random and it doesn't feel like it fits in with the main game. Then we have character motivations which kind of flip on a dime to suit whatever that story is wanting to convey at that particular moment. By the end, I was hoping that it would wrap everything up nicely, but it doesn't, leaving a lot of small unanswered things and being vague about some of the bigger mysteries as well. All of this led me to have a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth by the end of the game. I kept wanting to play it, but by the end, I was let down. To be fair, this only took me 5 hours to beat, so it didn't take me too long, but just be warned, it really is a short game. In my opinion, Trüberbrook is not worth it, as the game is not that fun to play. The puzzles are both obtuse but simple thanks to the jog wheel, where you can't really make mistakes. Instead, you just have to comb every screen and then do it again once you have a new item or a new bit of information, and then hope to use it somewhere. The story is disjointed, but does have like a lot of interesting moments, especially with some of the characters, but it requires more work to just flesh it out and bring them all together. The visuals though are stunning and might be the only reason I'd say you should get this game if you see it for very cheap. So guys, what did you think about Trüberbrook? Did you like it? Did you hate it? And what did you think about the game overall? Did you back it on Kickstarter or not? I didn't personally, I'm just curious. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!